Okay, I'm just gonna start this video off with Kevin Harvick here, number 4, won the NASCAR championship this year. I'm just gonna say that. I'm gonna talk about some other stuff, and I'm gonna come back to Kevin Harvick, and we'll take a little bit deeper look into Kevin Harvick. Okay, so in my last video, I had talked about the top 4 people or whatever that were left in the chase. And it was Denny Hamlin was number 1, and then it was 1-1-1, and Logano was in second and 2-2-2, and Harvick was in fourth, and he's car 4. And I said, well, I think Logano is going to win because of all the twos and everything else, and they had been significant within the World Series and some other things. But I had forgot that a long time ago, I made a video about Logano being sponsored by the same company as California Chrome in the Kentucky Derby. It was the Call 8-1. And everybody thought that California Chrome was going to win, and he ended up losing, I think, at the Belmont, and so he didn't win. So Logano actually didn't win either. But I want to show you something that's kind of interesting. Here's a picture of California Chrome and the jockey, and he's wearing the Call 811 in the purple and the green. But anyway, Joey Logano was also sponsored by them earlier in this year, and he won a whole bunch of. He won like 3 out of 4 or something like that. I can't remember what it was. It's in my other video, so you can go back and look. But anyway, moral of the story, that they're connected because of the sponsor, and the 811 is the 88. But I'll show you here. And I even think it's funny that California Chrome, it says foiled February 18th, 2011, which would be 2-1-8-1-1. So he won the 2 races of 3, right? So you got your 2, and then you got your 1-8 and your 1-1. So they're basically telling you that he's only going to win 2 races. I know it's hard to explain, but his sponsored by Call 811, and then you got 1-8-1-1, and then 2 in front of that. So you know he's going to win 2 races. And they build up Joey Logano all season long, making you think that he was going to win, and then he doesn't win, and he ended up in 4th place. Now this is where it's significant. Logano was in second, and he ended up getting 4th. Well, if you go to California Chrome here, 2014. So California Chrome doesn't win the Triple Crown. They win at the Kentucky Derby, and then they win at Preakness, and then in the Belmont Stakes, let's see here, he gets 4th place. I don't know where it is. Let me scroll down here. Here we go. Tonalist won the race, and California Chrome finished 4th in a dead heat. Now they had the same sponsor, and they built him up to like he was going to win, just like Joey Logano, who ends up finishing 4th in points in NASCAR too. I don't think that's a coincidence. So back to Harvick here. Harvick was his sponsor is Budweiser and Jimmy John's, but they show you Budweiser a lot. And the guy who used to be sponsored by Budweiser until 2008 was Dale Earnhardt Jr. And he used to drive Dale Earnhardt used to drive the 8 car, and then when he switched over to Hendrick Motorsports, he started driving the 88 car. And this year, he just happened to finish in the standings 8th, and he drives the 88 car. He's now sponsored by Mountain Dew as well, and I think Mountain Dew is Pepsi, and Pepsi was founded, I could show you here, I don't even know. Pepsi was founded in 1919, and he actually signed with Mountain Dew, I think in like September of 2007, which would be 88 years. he didn't actually start driving with Mountain Dew until the 2008 season. I can't find a month on when Pepsi actually was formed. It just says 1919, but depending on when the season started, it could have been 88 years. But anyway, he did sign with them in 2007, which, yeah, it doesn't even matter. But I just wanted to, yeah, on September 19th, that's when he said he'd be driving with Mountain Dew or whatever. So that was 88 years after Pepsi was founded. So for starters, you got Kevin Harvick. So his initials are KH. K is the 11th letter of the alphabet. H is the 8th letter of the alphabet. So you have 11, 8, and you have an 88 right there. Oh, twos with Harvick here. Anyway, it says that they planned on running him in the number 2 car in the Busch Series full time again, and then kind of developing into the Sprint Cup or the Winston Cup, which turned into the Sprint Cup. But then Dale Earnhardt Sr. died, so he basically got to take over, and they let him race a full season. But they had originally planned to race him a full schedule in 2002. So you got your number 2, and 2002 is you take out the zeros, it is a 22. Okay, sorry. Before I get too much farther into the Harvick thing, I also forgot to show you on Dale Earnhardt Jr. It says he has 23 wins, 223 top 10s, and 13 poles. All significant. Just pointing that out really quick. Until 2008, let's see here. Until 2008, General Motors was the sponsor. General Motors was a sponsor, and it says here, or GM Goodwrench is what it is, actually. Sorry, wow. My microphone is like messing up, but so in 2008, after a 22-year partnership, so you got your 2 2s, GM Goodwrench ended sponsorship of Richard Childress Racing and NASCAR. And if you go up here, it says from 1988 until 2005, they were the primary sponsor of that team. So like when Dale Earnhardt drove with in NASCAR here, this was his sponsor, GM Goodwrench, and it was from 1988 and then until 2005 they were the primary sponsor, and then they stayed with them halfway. They split it up with Hershey's, and I know I made a video a while back about this guy right here, the guy who founded Hershey's, who died at the age of 88 years old. So Harvick was born on December 8th, 1975 here. So we'll type in December 8th, and you find out that there are actually 23 days remaining until the end of the year. So once again, we got 23, 32. And the final race that he won was right here, if I can hear. Wow. Was this race right here. And it was on November 16th of 2014. So November 16th is actually 1116 666, and it's also 22 days from December 8th, Kevin Harvick's birthday. This race has been the final race in NASCAR, in the Sprint Series at least, since 2002. So you got your 22 again. And it takes place on Homestead Miami Speedway in Homestead, Florida. But let's check this out here. Homestead Miami Speedway opened November 5th, 1995. So you got your 11.5, which is your 5.5, and then the 95, which is your 3 sets of 3.5s. So you got a 6.66, and then you have Remember, the 5th of November, which is also a 55. So he won on November 16th, so 11.16. So, and if they like to flip the 6s and the 9s, like 1999 would be 666. And he was born in Bakersfield, California, which is on the 119th Meridian West, which would be 1116 or whatever, you know. In 2010, he won Aaron's 499 in a 200 lap race, and he at the very end he passed Jamie McMurray, and that was for the 88th lead change of the race, and it was a new NASCAR record. So you got an 88 there even to set a new NASCAR record. He did talked about being a Yankees fan, and on August 10th, 2011, he got to throw the first pitch between the Yankees and the Angels. But August 10th, 2011, and that's 8/11 for one, the 8th month, 11th year. But August 10th just so happens to be the 222nd day of the year. I'll just prove it here. 222nd day of the year. Kevin Harvick's wife was born July 7th, 1973. That's 7/7/73. Now, and she's 41 years old. So, 1941 was 73 years ago. I don't know, that's pretty crazy. And obviously 1973 was 41 years ago. It looks like Harvick has always drove a Chevy. So let's click on Chevrolet. Of course, it was founded on 11/3/11, or 1911, which is also 9/11. But 11/3/11, so you have 11, then a 3, then 11. So you have 3/11 on both sides, which is 33 and 33. So let's check out the founders of Chevrolet. Louis Chevrolet. He was born on Christmas Day. Weird. He died on 6/6. So you got your 66. 1941, which I just said was 73 years ago. At the age of 62, which you got another 2 6s again. So 62 years old, 2 6s. He dies on 6/6, 73 years ago. All right, we'll check out the other guy, William C. Durant. All right. Well, he died. He was born the same day as Kevin Harvick. And I think it's 114 years apart, I believe. So you got, once again, you got an 11 and a 4. So you got 4 and 4. And let's not forget that Harvick drives the number 4 car now. Also, I believe he died on March 18th, and I think that's the 77th day of the year. Let's check really quick. Yep, 77th day of the year. He's born on the 37th day of the year, and he was also the quarterback for the 1888 Michigan Wolverines. I'm going to end the video there because I'm running out of time. but I'm a Michigan fan, so it just stands out to me. Anyway, thanks for listening. Have a great night.